Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Divya. Welcome to Visual Vibes. In this Python course, I'm gonna teach you everything that you need to learn to start coding with Python. This course doesn't cost you anything, it's totally free for you. But if you would like to help me out, then you can increase its reach by hitting a like button, leave a random comment down below, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thanks in advance, and I really appreciate it. Without getting any delay, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to see different types of data types that are available in Python. So before I start, I would like to mention one thing. If you are new to my channel or new to this Python course, then I would like to recommend you to check out my earlier sessions first because they will help you understanding the things better before jumping into the new concepts. Once you're done with watching those videos first, then circle back here for a deeper dive. Okay, now let's get into the main topic, data types. So data types. From the name itself, we can be able to understand that data types are the ones that represents the type of data that we are going to store in a variable. So whenever a value is assigned to a variable, the data type of that variable can be determined by Python at runtime. So data types are the ones that determines what kind of operations that you can perform. So normally in Python, we have majorly two data types, integer data types and string data types. Integer data types are responsible for are the ones that holds numeric values. String data types holds the sequence of characters. So for the integer data types, we can be able to perform various mathematical operations that includes addition, subtraction, multiplication, divisions, all these things are integer data types. But even when it comes to string data types, since it is a sequence of characters, mathematical operations cannot be performed. Instead of that, concatenation of strings, slicing of strings can be possible. So data types are the ones that determines what kind of operation that you can perform. So based on the particular data type, operations are changing. And it is the one that determines how much memory it uses. Basically in programming, memory uses depends on data type of the variable and its size. So whenever for integer data types, if a variable holds a single digit, then the memory usage is different. Suppose a variable holds sequence of one or more characters, then the memory usage is different. And it is the one that determines how it behaves when combined with other data type values. Suppose whenever we combine two integer data type values, how it behaves. So whenever we combine two string data type values, how it behaves. Similarly, when we combine string and integer data type values, how it behaves can be determined by data types. Normally in Python, string and integer data types combination is not possible, but all these things can be determined by data types. Now let's see the types of data types. So we have mainly two types of data types that are available in Python. First one is built-in data types, and second one is user-defined data types. So built-in data types are the ones that are already available in Python or predefined by Python. So you no need to define or create those data types or import from other third-party packages. You just need to use those data types according to our requirement. Whereas user-defined data types are the custom data types which can be created by user using the classes concept in Python. So we can see the classes concept in Python in upcoming sessions. So I will discuss this user-defined data types in detail in that session. So for today's session, we are going to see built-in data types that are available in Python. And if you can see the various types of data types that are available in Python. So Python data types are mainly categorized into 5 types. That includes numeric data types, sequence data types, dictionary data types, set data types, and Boolean data types. In turn, these numeric and sequence data types are categorized into 3. Numeric data types are categorized into 3 types. That includes integer data types, float data types, complex numbers data types. Whereas the sequence type is categorized into 3 that includes string data types, list data types, and finally the tuple data types. Now let's see each data type in detail. Numeric data types. So numeric data types are the ones that holds the data containing the numeric values. From the name itself, we can see, right? These are the data types that are going to hold the numeric values only. So these numeric data types are in turn divided into 3: integers, float, and complex numbers. So in Python programming, everything is an object. Means the data types or classes and the variables or instances or objects of those classes. So we will see what are the classes and objects in our upcoming sessions. But for now, just remember that we can call data types as classes. So the data types are classes in Python. So that's why we can call as integer class or float class or complex number class. So this integer classes or data types contains the all negative and positive whole numbers without any decimal points. So the numbers, the variables that holds the whole numbers, both positive and negative, without any decimal or fractions comes under this integer data types. So here you can see the example. X is a variable that is holding the value 20 without any decimal point. Similarly, if you have a more number of digits, then those digits can be written as using underscores in between. So here 10 lakhs has been written as like this using the underscores. So integer data types are the ones that holds the whole number values. And now let's see the float data types. Here float class represents the numeric values only, but those values can be expressed with decimal points. And this representation we can call as floating point representation. So all the numbers with a decimal point comes under the float data types. So here is the example. So X is a variable that is holding 20.5899 value. So here we have a decimal point value. All the decimal point values comes under float data type values. And finally, complex number data types. Complex number data types holds the numbers which can be expressed as real part and imaginary part. So we have the complex numbers in our math subject, right? So those complex numbers can be represented as here 1 is the real number and 3j is the imaginary part. Whatever the complex numbers that we are going to represent and store in a variable belongs to complex number data types. So these are all about numeric data types in Python. Next one, sequence type data types. So this sequence type data types in turn divided into 3 types: string data types, list data types, and tuple data types. Let's see the string data types. So string data types are the ones that holds the collection of one or more sequence characters, which can be put always in either a single quote, double quote, or in triple quotes. So here in this example, you can see I have defined a variable and I have assigned the value hello to it. So whenever I send a value to it, it can be look like this. So here each and every individual character can be assigned with some index positions. So these are all we can call 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 or index positions assigned to the individual character. So H character is at index position 0 and E character is at index position 1. Similarly and so on. Finally, O character is at index position 4. And this indexing always starts at 0. So this hello is a sequence of characters that is assigned with index positions starting from 0 to until end. So suppose if I want to access any individual character from this string, then I need to use indexing. So here indexing is an effective way of accessing individual characters in a string. If I want to access any individual character, then I need to use indexing. So that indexing is how it will look like means. So if I want to access the character A, which is at position 1, Then I need to access it like this. Variable name inside the brackets, I need to pass the index position. Similarly, if I want to access character O, then I need to pass the index position 4. So if we see the length of the string means here the length of the string is 5 since we have 5 characters in it, but the index positions always starts at 0. So whenever we iterate through this string, then the index positions always stop at n minus 1. If the length of the string is n, then it stops at n minus 1. And the Python strings are immutable. So before I explain this statement, let me tell you the difference between mutable and immutable. Mutable means anything that is changeable after creation. Immutable means anything that is unchangeable after creation. Suppose once an object is created, we are able to change the data in it, then it comes under mutable. Suppose if an object is created, we are not able to change the elements in it, then it comes under unchangeable. That we can call as immutable. So here Python strings are immutable, means once here the hello string is already created and it is assigned to this variable. Suppose if I want to replace the character, any character in this string with a new character, that is not possible. Instead of that, because it is not possible because strings are immutable, cannot be changeable after its creation. So in place of that or instead of that, you can create a new string using this old string. So those kind of operations we can check in our upcoming sessions. So for now, you can understand it like Python strings are immutable. Now let's see the next data type, list. So list data type is the one that contains a collection of items or elements separated by commas and enclosed within square brackets. So here in this example, you can see I have defined one variable named mylist and I have added the collection of items to this list enclosed within square brackets. So if you can see here we have different types of elements that belongs to different data types. So Python lists can hold the items that belongs to different data types. So here you can see 2023 is a value belong to integer data type. Python is a string that belong to string data type. And 3.11 is a value that belong to float data type. And 5 plus 6j belong to complex number data type. And the value true belong to Boolean data type that we're going to see in a few minutes. So here this list is holding the different types of elements belong to different types of data types. So whenever I have these many elements in it, right? So suppose if I want to access any element in it means then I can make use of same indexing in list data types as well. So here if I want to, so here also all these items can be assigned with the index position starting from 0 as like string data types. So here 2023 starts at index position 0 and the last value true. It ends with the index position 4. Since we have 5 elements, it starts with 0 and ends with 4. So in order to access the element which is present at index position 1, so I can give it like this. The variable name within the brackets, I can give the index positions. So that outputs the value Python. So this is about in list data types. Now let's see the tuple data types. So the tuple data types are similar to the list data types, but it holds the ordered collection of elements or objects separated by commas, but enclosed within parentheses. Instead of square brackets as like lists, here the elements or items are enclosed within parentheses. You can see. So here I have given my tuple and I have added some of the items in it enclosed within parentheses. And these tuple items can be of can hold the items belong to different data types as like lists. So here we can see the item data types, whichever hold in list. Same items it also hold in tuple as well. But here I have added list also. So I have declared list like this that holds two items, and I added this list to this tuple. So this is an example of the tuple that holds the different types of elements belong to different data types. So like in the same way in strings and list data types, in tuple data types also we can access the elements using index positions. So here I was accessing the element at index position 4, so that prints me true. And here Python lists are immutable. I forgot to tell you right at this point, like Python lists are immutable. Means once the elements are created, if I want to change any element in place of any element, then it is possible. Suppose if I want to replace this element with another element, that is possible. So Python lists are mutable. So how we can change the elements, all those operations we can see in our upcoming sessions in detail whenever we talk about each and every data type operations in detail. And Python tuples are immutable. Means once the object is created or tuple is created, it's not possible to change the elements or replace the elements. But if the elements are not changeable or not changeable means then you can have a question how it is possible to change the elements. Then to change the elements also we can have some indirect ways. So those ways we can see in our upcoming sessions. So these are all about sequence data types. Now let's see the next set of data types. Now let's see the Boolean data types. So Boolean data types are the built-in data types of Python that only holds two constant values. So those values are true and false. So these Boolean objects with a true value can be considered as truthful, while the Boolean objects with a false value can be considered as falsy values. So here you can see one example. So here I have defined a variable is Sunny and I have assigned the true value to it. So whenever if you want to check any conditions in Python programming, then you can make use of these Boolean data types. So here I'm checking the condition using the if keyword, if is Sunny, and this is Sunny variable is holding the true value. So then in place of is Sunny, true can be replaced. So if this condition satisfies, then it prints this statement. Else I was printing another statement. So since the value is true, so this statement it will print. So this Boolean data types is mainly useful whenever if you want to check some conditions, whether it really exists or not, or the file is truly present or not in that particular location. And in some cases of expressions where we are checking some conditions, Boolean data types are mainly useful. And the next set of data type is a set. Set data types are the ones that contains the noded collection of items separated by commas, which are enclosed within curly brackets. Normally, lists are enclosed within square brackets, whereas tuples within parentheses. But set data types are enclosed within flower brackets or curly brackets, we can say. So here you can see the example. Here I have defined one variable named myset, and I have assigned the values in it with the curly braces, and the values are separated by commas. So in lists and tuples, indexing is possible. That means if we want to access any element, we can access it with the help of index positions. But set is not indexed. Indexing is not possible in set. So because it is holding the unordered collection of items. That means it doesn't keep track of index positions, same as a list or tuples do. So that's why indexing is not possible. If I try to access any element with the indexing, then it prints indexing not possible in Python. And this set contains always unique elements, no duplicate elements it holds. Even though you define a set with some duplicate elements, whenever you're going to print or use this set in anywhere in programming, then it only prints the unique set of elements in it. It doesn't print the duplicate elements. So set only contains unique elements, but no duplicates. And sets in Python are mutable. This means we can be able to change the elements. We can add, remove. All these operations we can be able to do in sets. Even though set is mutable, but it doesn't allow the immutable objects in it. So whenever we are defining a set, right, we should not include the immutable objects. Mutable objects. Set only can store the immutable objects. That means the objects which are not unchangeable, those values only can be able to store in set. So such as number data types, string data types, or tuples can be stored in set, but mutable lists cannot be stored in set. Even though if you try to pass a mutable collection of elements or store the collection of elements in set, which are mutable, then it gives the type error. So keep one thing in mind, sets in Python are mutable. That means we can be able to change the elements, but it is not possible to store the elements which are changeable. And we have another one category in sets, that is frozen set. So frozen set is the one that somewhat is opposite to this set. So this frozen set consists of unordered and immutable collection of elements, but it is unindexed as like set. Since set contains ordered collection of elements, but frozen set contains unordered collection of elements, set is mutable, whereas frozen set is immutable. Both frozen set and set are mutable. Unindexed. That means indexing is not possible either in a set as well as in frozen set. So this frozen set, when we use means, these frozen sets are mainly useful whenever if you want to create a set like a structure that won't change at all, or if you want to store one set in another set, or in dictionaries, frozen sets are mainly useful. And these frozen sets are defined like this. So we have a function in Python named frozen set. So in this frozen set function, within the parenthesis, we need to pass the set. So this is the set, right? Set usually defined within curly braces, and this set is within this parenthesis because this frozen set is a function. So we are passing this set as an argument to this function. And whenever I was trying to print this frozen set, and the output looked like this. So these are all about Boolean data types and set data types and the category of frozen set in it. Now let's see the other set of data type. Finally, let's see the dictionary data types. So we have seen until now lists, tuple, and sets, right? So how they are storing the values? They are storing the collection of values as an items in it, right? But dictionary data types are a bit different. So these data types holds the data in the form of key value pairs. Whatever the data that we are going to store inside this dictionary must follow the key value structure. And this set of key value pairs is mainly useful for data structure for storing the data. We can store multiple values in a dictionary data types under a single name. So if you want to, whenever you want to create a dictionary data types, so we can create a dictionary by putting the elements inside it within the curly braces separated by commas. So here I have given one example wherein I have declared one variable named mydate. Inside the curly braces, I have stored the data. So these items can have key as well as value in it. So here you can see name is a key and rows is a value. Similarly, age is a key, 16 is a value. So like this, we can store a number of items in a dictionary. But suppose if we want to access any element from the dictionary, then you can then you can refer the key name. To access any element in a dictionary, you need to reference it by key name. So suppose if I want to access the value rows. Then I need to access that value by referencing with the help of key name, that is name. So that's why inside this variable, inside this brackets, I was passing the key name, that is name, and that prints me the value rows. This is about dictionary data types. So here I have given one note. So in our earlier sessions, we have discussed it, right? I have explained, right? Like we have that Python is a dynamically typed language. Means whenever a value is assigned to a variable, the data type of that variable is determined by the Python at runtime only. How it is determined? Based on the value that is assigned to that variable. So if you want to determine or to check the variable data type, then you can make use of pre-built function in Python, that is type function. So this type function is mainly useful to check the data type of the variable. So here I have given one example where I have declared num variable and I have assigned 100 value to it. And if I want to check the data type of this variable name num, then I need to pass this variable name inside this type function. Within this parenthesis, I need to pass this variable as argument to this function. So then whenever I was trying to print this type of num, then it gives me the output like as class int. So initially I have told, right, in this session that in Python we can call data types are classes. So this variable data type is int. Since data types are classes, so the output is class int. So similarly, I have a string data type that is holding the value Geeta. And whenever I pass this name as an argument to this type function, it gives me the output class string. So similarly, in case of list, so I have this list. When I pass this list as a function, an argument to this function, it outputs me the data type, saying that it belongs to class list data type. Similarly, in case of tuple, it gives the output as class tuple. In case of set, it gives the output as class set. And finally, in case of dictionary, when I pass this dictionary, my dict variable as argument to this type function, it gives me the output as class dict. So these are all the different types of data types that are available in our Python. And this is how you can check the type of variables data type. So whatever the data types that you have seen till now, all those data types can be mainly categorized into two data types also. So one is primitive data types and the other one is non-primitive data types. So these primitive data types are the fundamental basic data types which are used to create the complex data types. So in order to create complex data types means to create non-primitive data types, these primitive data types are used as a fundamental data types. So and under these primitive data types, we can categorize these four data types as primitive data types. That includes integers, floats, booleans, and strings. But when it comes to non-primitive data types, these data types stores the values or collection of values or any items. So normally we have seen, right, when it comes to these four data types, these only hold the single value. But when we see these data types, every time we have the collection of items only, right? So these collection of items can be stored by these data types, and these data types can be a part of non-primitive data types. To create these non-primitive data types, we will make use of these primitive data types. So this is all about different types of data types that are available in Python. So that's all for today. I hope you like this session. If you have any doubts, feel free to post them in the comment section. We'll definitely answer your questions, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care, goodbye, and enjoy programming.